Well, what eventually happens if your body starts to become dependent on them is when they start to get out of your system, you crave them. And if you're without them, you feel awful. Even if it's not physical pain, it's other kinds of pain. And you crave feeling normal. So you find a way to get them. In my case, it was to get them from multiple doctors. I was being treated by multiple doctors. I had multiple issues. But I took advantage of that because I reached a point when my body I didn't feel my body could get along without them. And then you start to notice that you're not always telling the truth, especially to the people you love. I would hide pain pills. Even though I was getting them from doctors, I was hiding them. That's a bad sign. I would try to get more refills than the doctor had recommended. I suspected that I was addicted, and that also gives you a feeling of guilt because I was it went against my moral and ethical code. So I took the pills to feel better, to feel less guilty. And that seemed to work, but it was only temporary. It could only last for a few hours or for a day. I just knew that I was scared to death of it being anything other than a secret between me and my doctors. And that if anybody found out, that I would be in trouble professionally. I dealt with kids who'd been caught with drugs. I knew what kind of consequences they faced. I had used the excuse, though, that I was getting these from doctors. I wasn't on the street. But those are some of the lies we tell ourselves, that I'm in a different category. I got a call from the county attorney one day in my superintendent's office, and he said, "We're investigating you for prescription fraud." That was what he said, and that's about all he said. My heart dropped to the floor. And the article that then got printed was me coming face to face with addiction. The paper told the people of Iron County, and then that was picked up by every other paper in the state of Utah. So overnight, the public knew that I was addicted to pain medication. Well, I found for me that music, uplifting music, and establishing a relationship with God were the only tools I had. So I felt there were a lot of miracles that took place in my life to help me get back on track. Well, I ended up having a lot of opportunities after my addiction, both in my field, because I actually got my license back and was able to go to work once again as a principal on an elementary level. So I felt like I'd come full circle and I'd received some kind of forgiveness and acceptance back into my own profession. That was redemptive for me. It also felt like I'd been forgiven, if you will. And so